Hello, my name's Beth. I'm an avid reader and aspiring author, and today I'm going to be doing something, I would say a little bit different. It's just something I've not done before, but today, as you can tell from the title, we're going to do some books you should read if you enjoyed Sex Education, the Netflix TV show, because that TV show has walked into my life and I have become obsessed. So I thought, I've read a lot of books that give off similar vibes to it. I've watched the TV show, so here are my opinions on, or recommendations, that's the word I'm looking for. Recommendations on what you should read if you enjoyed Sex Education. The first book is literally the Sex Education book. I read this in a day. It's a short book, it's 260 pages, and it's essentially the summer holidays between their 2 years, and they go on this like mystery solving hunt, and it's led by Maeve, and it's just incredible. You follow the four on the cover: Maeve, Otis, Eric, and Amy, and it's just this really nice four-way friendship that you don't really get to see properly in the TV show. And I wish they would make like a short film of this book, because it's so good. So literally, if you finish the series and you're craving more, I highly recommend you pick this up, because it's a quick read. It does read a little bit young, because it's aimed at teenagers, so take that with a grain of salt, but because it's written in such a way that you can get through it so quickly, I was just so invested in the characters that I didn't really care about the writing style. So that's the first book. Second book, I'm going to give a trigger warning for this. It talks heavily about suicide, and also it's set in a psychiatric ward, which I know you think, how does that relate to Sex Education? Obviously the therapy. I'm going down the therapy route here, but it's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. I think that's how you say his name. But this book is just, if you like the parts, like the actual Sex Education, like therapy clinic bits of Sex Education, this book is the same vibes. It's so funny. It's heart-wrenching at points. There's teenage love. It is literally so good. Also a very quick read. It's set in New York, so you are following, and you follow it. Should I just start that again? It's set in New York, and you're following a 16 or 17-year-old boy, and he's just going through life. Actually, he might be younger than, no, I think he's 16 or 17, I can't remember, but he's that sort of age, and he's struggling with school and feeling like he has to fit in and not following his passions, and then just what ensues afterwards. It's so good. Please read this book. As long as you're not going to be triggered by it. I don't want to recommend books that people are going to be triggered by, but like, I'm pretty sure from the get-go you're talking about, yeah, literally the first sentence is talking about suicide. So approach with care if you need to. Similarly, set in New York and following a teenage boy, Felix Ever After. This one is more just because it's set in the school and like the teenage troubles. If you like Cal's storyline, I think you will like this book a lot, because there's a lot of similarities. It's essentially about a trans man questioning his identity again whilst going through high school, and trying to figure out what his passion is. Again, just a really good coming of age story. Also, if you can get the UK edition, it has a beautiful sprayed edge. Annoyingly, it doesn't go all the way around, but we do what we can. I'm sorry, I got distracted by my fish. But yeah, this is, again, all of these books so far that I've recommended have been quick reads for me. I've read them within a couple of days. if not within a day. because they just keep you hooked, which I think is also a good sign and a good link to Sex Education, the TV show, because that kept me hooked. That kept me really hooked. So these 3 books, the first ones, have a lot of the similar themes of talk of gender, therapy, sex. We're now moving on to some looser connected ones, but I still think give off some similar vibes, or like similar points of the stories. And the first one is Ace of Spades. I've not quite finished this yet. I am going to finish it after I finish recording this because I've only got 100 pages left. But it's set in a school. It heavily talks about racism. That's the main centre point of this. So I think that's how I'm tying it in, is with Cal, Jackson and Hope. That storyline of how she kind of looks down on them and just kind of keeps them on side because it makes her school look diverse. Also, side note, what are people's opinions on Hope? Because she really freaks me out. Anyway, so yeah, Ace of Spades. Incredible book. I have laughed, I've cried. It leaves you wanting more. Also, if you like the dark academia type of literature, fits perfectly. It's all about a mystery and trying to solve that mystery. It's so good. So good. Also, that's why I'm linking it in again, because of the mysteries they solved during Sex Education with like people sending photos around. Very similar. Very similar. Trying not to give too much away, but trying to make you pick up this book because it's just incredible. Whew. This is going to be a short video. That's a good sign. These last 2 are kind of more just honourable mentions. Like those ones like link directly. These 2 are more honourable because they follow the school setting a lot more. The first one is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This book has become a cult classic, honestly. It's about a boy and a girl in love at high school and then going to university and all the shit that ensues. And it's incredible. I don't know what to say about this book that without giving anything away. It's also been quite a while since I read it, but I know that just the themes of love and sex and your sexuality and your identity and school, this fits in perfectly. So yeah, maybe this one isn't quite an honourable mention, maybe this is just a suggestion, but I'm hoping that some of these might spark your interest to pick up after Sex Education. The final one is definitely a honourable mention because the only link is that it's set in a school, and that is If We Were Villains. This is a dark academia novel. It's quite macabre, so go into that as a warning. There is a lot of talk of abuse as well, and some of the characters are quite abusive. But it's essentially about watching 6 people's downfall and their descent into madness. So those are the 6 books that I think you should read after watching Sex Education. Mainly the first 5, I just wanted to throw this one in there as kind of a, maybe you're in like wanting something set in a school but you want something a bit dark for October. So those are my recommendations. I will link all of them down below. Hopefully I can find all of them on Amazon so I can link them all down below for you. But yeah, I hope that this has helped you find something to read if you're like me and feeling the slump after Sex Education. It's taken me a while to get around to this, to film it, because I needed to read a couple of the books that I thought was going to fit in, but I needed to check. They do fit in, so that's fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!